True or false? Episode 2. Animal facts you might take for granted. Americans used bats to drop bombs. True. During World War II, Americans tried to train bats to drop bombs. The Marine Corps spent around $2 million testing an idea cooked up by a Pennsylvania dentist: tiny bats to scatter bombs across Japan, which was very unsuccessful. Touching toads gives you warts. False. It's a very old tale that turned into a myth. No, touching a toad will not give you warts. These animals are covered in warts because they're actually glands that help to keep predators away by emitting toxins. Human warts can happen from millions of reasons, but never from touching a toad. Camels store water in their humps. False. A lot of people believe that camels' lumps are filled with stored water, but in fact, they actually contain fat, which camels can use for energy. The humps contain the equivalent of 3 weeks' worth of food and helps the body temperature regulation. In fact, the water gets stored and processed in their bloodstream, kidneys, and intestines. Ravens are masters of deception. True. A 2002 study published in Animal Behavior found that these tricky birds have the ability to deceive each other. The entire corvid family, which includes crows, ravens, and jays, is exceptionally intelligent. These birds have also been known to play pranks on one another and to tease other animals. Dolphins can get high? True. Pufferfish are known to contain tetrodotoxin, which in small amounts can kill a human within minutes. However, for dolphins, this toxin, according to experts, is known to create a narcotic effect when consumed in smaller amounts. So yes, dolphins are next level. Wolf packs have an alpha leader. False. People got this conclusion based on how the animals act in captivity. When wolves are put together, there's more competition. But in the wild, on the other hand, wolves tend to stick with their families. So the elder family members naturally have higher status. But that isn't too different from any animal family where the parent is the powerful member. Slow lorises are venomous? True. Slow lorises might look adorable, but they can bite you with flesh-rotting venom. They're the world's only venomous mammals. Even rarer, they use their venom on one another. Their bite is so toxic, it can kill a human. Anteater eat through their nose. False. It's definitely a myth that an anteater will consume ants through its nose. Instead, anteaters use their claws to rip open anthills, then use their long tongues to eat the insects. Without teeth, they just swallow up to 20,000 ants whole each day. Polar bears aren't white? True. Polar bears have actually a black skin, but their fur is white so that they can camouflage into their environment. Their coat is so well camouflaged in Arctic environments that it can sometimes pass as a snowdrift. Interestingly, the polar bear's coat has no white pigment. It's all black and its hairs are hollow. The U.S. military uses dolphins as guards? True. Bottlenose dolphins detect and mark underwater mines. This animal locates a mine and then deposits a weighted buoy line near the mine in order to mark it. They're also used to detect and defend against enemy swimmers. The procedure was used in both the Vietnam War and the Persian Gulf War to protect Navy-anchored vessels from enemy swimmers seeking to plant explosives. Before we start the next one, give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. Ostriches bury their heads in the sand? False. Despite popular misconception, ostriches do not stick their heads in the sand. This myth originated in ancient Rome and is so pervasive that it's used as a common metaphor for someone avoiding their problems. It's thought that this belief began after observing ostriches nesting and being stalked by predators. Penguins mate for life. False. I don't know where people got this fact, but it isn't true, as it's proven that 85% of emperor penguins switch partners each breeding season, while around 71% of king penguins do the same. And according to a study of 19 Gen 2 penguins, they act monogamous, but the DNA of their offspring reveals that they cheat on their partners along with 1/3 of female Humboldt penguins. Bulls are enraged by the color red? False. The answer's no. In fact, bulls are actually colorblind to the color red. It's actually the aggressive whipping of the muleta by the matador which irritates the bull. This causes the bull's fight or flight response to become activated and become very aggressive. Pigeons can do math. True. In fact, one 2011 study published in the journal Science found that birds are capable of doing math at the same level as monkeys. During the study, the pigeons were asked to compare 9 images, each containing a different number of objects. The researchers found that the birds were able to rank the images in order of how many objects they contained. Put simply, they learned that the birds could count. Sheep can recognize you? True. If you do them harm or upset them, they'll definitely remember you. A study has shown that sheep have advanced face recognition abilities similar to those of humans and non-human primates. Sheep are able to recognize familiar and unfamiliar human faces. They can also differentiate between facial expressions and prefer a smile to a frown. Wolves howl at the moon. False. This is the most believed myth out there, but it's 100% not true. Wolves tend to howl more at night, and that's because that's when they're active, and they look up when doing it because it helps the sound travel further. Other wolves can hear them from about 6 to 7 miles away, and they use it to communicate. Captivated dolphins aren't wild. False. This isn't true because caged dolphins aren't domesticated, they're just trapped. In fact, domestication takes thousands of years and special circumstances, so even if a dolphin is born in captivity, he isn't domesticated. If we continue to keep them in captivity, they'll remain wild and also never met their needs. An octopus has 3 hearts? True. Well, God was generous with these creatures because besides having 9 brains, they also have 3 hearts. 2 of the hearts work exclusively to move blood beyond the animal's gills, while the 3rd keeps circulation flowing for the organs. You can charm a cobra with music? False. The charm has nothing to do with the music and everything to do with the charmer waving a punji, a reed instrument carved out of a gourd, in the snake's face. Snakes don't have external ears and can perceive little more than low-frequency rumbles, so it's all about the choreography and not the music. Sharks can smell a drop of blood from miles away? False. It's a myth that sharks can smell a single drop of blood from a mile away. Sharks actually have roughly the same sensitivity as other fish and can detect smells from as far as 3 football fields, but not further than this. Cows have BFFs. True. Cows have stronger social ties than you might think. One 2013 study conducted by researchers at the University of Northampton found that when cows were separated from their BFFs, their heart rates increased as a sign of stress. Giraffes only sleep for 30 minutes. False. It's a popular internet misconception that giraffes only get 30 minutes of sleep every day, but don't get fooled because according to one study of 7 captive giraffes, they spend about 4.5 hours asleep, which isn't unusual for animals that spend most of their active hours in the daylight. A group of owls is called a parliament? True. Time for new laws to be passed. It might seem unbelievable, but it's true, as owls, long associated with knowledge and wisdom, are most often known as a parliament. Presumably, this term came about because of their association with wisdom and knowledge. In ancient Greece, owls were a symbol of higher wisdom and associated with Athena, the goddess of wisdom. So this was all for this episode. Which fact surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments.